this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something better.
Hello, beautiful, amazing, miraculous, magical people. I'm so glad you're on this video with me. Hello and welcome. My name is Shane Sterling, and this is my YouTube channel, Raw Vegan Rising. This is an amazing YouTube channel dedicated to truth, dedicated to the simple universal law of raw food to support our biology and our cellular matrix at the highest level. I'm a truth seeker, and I like to peer behind the curtain of how things work and get to the root, the core of the nature of reality, which has led me to be a raw vegan. After many years plant-based, many years eating animal products, I have been led to the simple universal law of undenatured food. This video is about the dark side of juice fasting because we use juice fasting to help prepare our gut to become a raw vegan. If you want to be a raw vegan, you're in the right place because this is the first step. I also have dedicated so much time, attention, and love, real heart-centered present love, to my free video course called How to Go Raw Vegan Start Here Guide. There's a link in the description below to my free video course. It's a 6-part video series. As soon as you sign up, you get the first video, and then you get 1 video per day. And this is really everything I've learned to help people go raw vegan. I would highly recommend signing up for that video course. But this video, I really want to talk about the dark side of juice fasting because so many people get gung-ho, they get excited about doing a juice fast. They get excited about cleansing, about feeling better, about a reset. And then they come up against the dark side. Now, I think if I talk about the dark side, it will help people have a more realistic picture of what juice fasting is. Now, I've helped hundreds of people through juice fasting. My group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, currently has 700 members in our private Facebook group, and many of them, probably 100 or more, are juice fasting right now. I've been running this group for coming up on 3 years. And imagine how many people I've seen go through juice fasting. I also offer private coaching to help people privately through juice fasting. And I've helped people with extreme chronic illness use juice fasting to help reverse their chronic constipation, their stagnant lymphatic systems, and to reverse chronic degenerative conditions. I have an extreme amount of experience and expertise in this field. And not only that, this is an area where I'm particularly intuitive. My intuitive, mystical, psychic side likes this area of expertise. I've applied myself here because I think it makes the most difference for people. And we can't just talk about the benefits and the healing nature of fasting in general and using juices to help us fast without talking about some of the dark sides that we come up against. First of all, I'd like to say, what is juice fasting for? Okay, we've got to answer this question. What is juice fasting for? Juice fasting is a temporary intervention protocol to remove waste, biofilm, accumulated mucoid plaque out of the digestive system to help with 2 things primarily: bowel transit time, so raw food can move through the digestive system properly and quickly, and also to remove the biofilms that inhibit absorption. A lot of our problems, our health problems, are related to poor nutrition. So it cleans out the impacted waste, which allows us to absorb better and increases the bowel transit time. And this is a temporary intervention. This isn't something we need to do ongoing, and it's not something that we need to do regularly. It's something we need to do one time, all the way, thoroughly, without holding back, get out all of the waste, and then we can move on to a raw vegan diet. If we prepare the gut properly for a raw vegan diet, it will make our ability to utilize and process raw foods that much easier. So then our body can truly be supported by the raw, undenatured living foods, instead of dealing with a lot of the complications that come from raw food with a dirty gut filled with waste. Okay, now the other question I'd like to answer is, who is a juice fast for? A juice fast is for someone with inflammation, someone who has allergies, someone who has skin problems, because all skin problems show that there's a problem in the gut. Okay, and anyone who has joint problems, joint pain, continued joint injuries, this is a sign of acidosis. This is a sign of a gut problem. Also, overgrowth of bacteria of any kind, imbalances of the chemistry in the body of any kind, funguses, molds, yeasts, also cellulite. So these types of problems indicate that there's a chemical imbalance in our body. When we do a juice fast, we eliminate the waste, which allows the body to focus on elimination so that it can restore the balance of chemistry in the body. That's all that's happening. The body wants to restore the natural pH balance in the body. If we have an overabundance of acids from an acid-forming diet, meat, milk, grains, sugars, starches, processed chemicals, we become acidic and we get these problems, allergies, skin issues, joint problems. A juice fast is how we take care of this. Now, if we embark on a juice fast, we're excited, we get gung-ho, we're like, I can do this. I can go 40 days on a juice fast. I can go 60 days, as long as it takes to empty the GI tract, as long as it takes to get out the mucoid plaque. I'm committed. I can do this. Yes, I can do this. Most people can convince themselves, enroll themselves, motivate themselves to get to this step. But when we come up against the dark side of juice fasting, most of us, 90% of us, will quit. Let's get into it. Here we go. I have 6 points that I think are the main shadow sides of ourself that we come up against. Number 1 is anger. We will feel anger, and we've been trained our whole lives not to feel anger, that anger is a bad emotion. Let's not allow ourselves to get angry. However, anger needs to be present to set boundaries. If we're going to set a boundary with ourselves, with our lifestyle, with our addiction, with our mindset, with our poor mindset, then we need to get angry to say, I'm setting a boundary right here. You guys wouldn't know it, but what I did when I started my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes, I got angry. Anger was the energy, the human emotion that I used to start Raw Vegan Heroes. I believe it was November of 2019. That's when I started it. And I got angry because it's a boundary setting emotion. It's saying enough is enough. I will not tolerate this anymore. I will not tolerate my mediocrity anymore. I will not tolerate my boundaries being crossed. I will not tolerate abuse, self-abuse, abuse from others, self-sabotage. I'm setting a boundary right now for my growth and for my greatness. That is essential. But if we're doing a juice fast, we're going to feel the anger. And we've been trained to not feel the anger, and that anger is a bad emotion. We need to set boundaries. So embrace the anger. Number 2, sadness. We're going to feel sadness, deep sadness. What is sadness? Why would we feel sadness on a juice fast? Because we're tapping into grief. There's collective grief. There's universal grief. It's an experience. It's a side of our consciousness. And not only that, we have the grief of our family lineage. We have the grief of our personal life experiences, of betrayal, of abuse, of abandonment, stuffed emotions, repressed emotions, things that we haven't remembered since childhood. Who knows how deep the grief goes? But when we start to feel sadness, we have to let it come up and out and wash over us. We can't suppress the sadness. We can't run from the sadness. We want to let the grief consume us, because it's like a fire. It's like a wildfire. It'll consume us and burn itself out and move. There's nothing more powerful than letting the wildfire of grief consume you and move through you. And most people, 90%, will stop because of that sadness. But we need to embrace it. Okay, number 3, hopelessness. What is hopelessness? We're going to feel a sense of hopelessness when we do a juice fast. And that's a loss of control. Because we want to be in control of our lives. We don't like the feeling of being out of control. 90% of people will stop a juice fast when they feel hopelessness. But we've got to realize and surrender to the fact that we have no control. We're not in control. There's a divine source that controls the destiny, the divine providence of our life. Yes, there's free will. Yes, we can control things. Yes, it seems like we're in control. But the power, the true power of self-mastery and alchemizing pain and grief and loss into our greatest gifts is surrendering to the control, surrendering that we are not ultimately, fundamentally, at the deepest core level in control. So when we feel that hopelessness, we've got to surrender. We've got to allow the hopelessness to be there. And really, it's a process of letting go. Surrender the control. Put it down. It's an illusion anyway, you know? So we've got to embrace the hopelessness. Number 4, frustration. When we do a juice fast, we're going to come up against immense frustration. Frustration with ourselves, frustration with the world, frustration with our family, people who don't appreciate us, with, you know, how much money we make, that we're still living in a crappy place that we don't like, that we don't have the life we want. We're going to feel all of the frustration of everything that's not working in our life. We're going to look at it and see it and feel it face to face. What is frustration? Where does it come from? Frustration is a lack of purpose. A lack of purpose in our life. And there's no better way to get to the deeper levels of the purpose of our existence on planet Earth to clean out the waste out of our GI tract than to detoxify the waste out of our body. Imagine how many layers of waste and dirt and grime and muck and self-doubt and fear and chaos and judgment that we accumulate over the course of our lifetime. Well, this has created a lack of purpose, a lack of direction, a lack of meaning, a lack of contribution. When we detoxify the body, we can break through these layers of self-judgment, and it reveals our purpose. It reveals the divine reason, the fingerprint, the blueprint, the gift of who we are and why we came to this planet. So when we do a juice fast and we feel frustration, we have to embrace it. We have to embrace the frustration. Okay, number 5. When we do a juice fast, we are going to feel fear. 90% or more of people will stop their juice fast when they feel the deep sensations of fear. But what is fear? At a fundamental level, fear is a guidepost. Fear is showing us the way forward. Fear is telling us which way to go. We must face our fears, and we realize when we face our fears that they were phantoms. They were never real all along. It's like running from a monster in your dream, and you turn around to stare down the monster, and the monster disappears. There was never a monster there. Fear is a phantom. But fear is our guidepost. Fear shows us the next step forward. So we've got to embrace the fear. When we are feeling fear on a juice fast, it's one of the greatest gifts because it's showing us the next path forward. It's showing us where to take the step. In the midst of being lost in the dark forest, it's like finding a pathway. It's like coming upon a signpost saying, "This way to your destiny, Shane. This is the way." And it's fear. It's cloaked in fear. That's what it feels like. It's the resistance. When we're doing a juice fast and we feel fear, we've got to embrace it. It's telling us exactly what we need to know. And number six, all of the hidden emotions that are suppressed in the gut. All of the hidden emotions. And these are rejected, abandoned parts of ourself, and they can be numerous, and they can be in many forms. But these hidden emotions that are suppressed in the gut get released as we detoxify the physical waste matter that holds it in place. There's like an anchoring from the physical waste that we hold in our body that doesn't allow us to release these abandoned, rejected, painful parts of ourself. And I will tell you, when we juice fast, we feel these hidden, suppressed emotions. 90% of people will stop. But there's nothing more important than reclaiming the rejected and abandoned parts of ourselves. That makes us whole. And then we can start on the journey to who we are really meant to be and why we came to this planet. Finding the guideposts of where to go next, finding our purpose, realizing there's a divine guide with us. We're not always in control. Realizing that our grief is one of our greatest gifts. And setting boundaries clearly and definitively as to who we are and what we are here to accomplish. If you're ready to do a juice fast, then I have the best juice fasting support in the world in my group coaching program, Raw Vegan Heroes. When you join Raw Vegan Heroes, you get an instant download to my bowel detoxification guide called How to Do a Juice Fast and Why You Need to Do One. It's the exact protocol, everything you need, the recipes, the quantities, how to use husk and clay, how to supplement with enzymes to remove all of the waste out of the GI tract. This is based on years and years of working with people privately and in my groups, seeing hundreds of people's experience with juice fasts. I have compiled it all and everything I know into my bowel detoxification guide. And that's part one. There's also a part two, which is an instant download called How to Rebuild the Gut After a Juice Fast, because any fool can do a juice fast. Any fool can get motivated for a short period of time to do a juice fast. But the most important part is breaking the fast and rebuilding the gut after a juice fast, to thrive as a raw vegan, to peer behind the curtain and to realize the truest, deepest nature of reality, to align with universal law, and to find that sense of purpose that we were born to exemplify. That happens as we rebuild our gut microbiome to thrive on a raw vegan diet. Also in my group Raw Vegan Heroes, as an instant download, you get my 14-day meal plan, which has over 60 recipes, meal planning, shopping lists, and shopping guides, pantry recommendations. It's a 74-page document. It's an incredible support system for you. You also get world-class support and coaching and accountability from all the other members, currently 700 members in Raw Vegan Heroes as of the making of this video, and growing fast. It's an incredible community. I have 3 assistant coaches in the group who are there to support you. I do a weekly live stream in the group, which is a Q&A format, so you can get direct coaching from me in the Raw Vegan Heroes group. Oh, yes, you can. Every week I answer member questions, and we have a live stream replay library, which is instantly accessible when you join Raw Vegan Heroes, which is over 100 hours of live stream replays in an easy to access library just for you. The immense knowledge that's in that replay library is incredible. It's worth the price of Raw Vegan Heroes just for that replay library. Also, you get my Success Path video course called How to Go from a Non-Vegan to a Raw Vegan Hero. And this is the emotional, mental, and identity change process that we go through to become a hero in our own life, leaving behind the limiting belief patterns, letting the old version of ourselves die and the new version rise from the ashes to become the new empowered self. That video course is 37 videos. It took me a year to make, and it's the entire outline of how we truly become a Raw Vegan Hero in our own life. Because after all, we're on the hero's journey. And not only that, but the group Raw Vegan Heroes is a place you can make friends. It's a place you can find an accountability buddy. Often people exchange phone numbers or visit each other in person. It's an incredible, thriving community. It's the most important raw vegan support in the world, hands down, and the best place to do a juice fast, to get my bowel detoxification guide, and if you go into the description below and click on the link for Raw Vegan Heroes, not only will you see that it is 75% off for a limited time for the viewers of this video, 75% off with the link below, but you will be able to read everything that you get. Everything that's included in the Raw Vegan Heroes membership. It's an absolutely incredible value. I highly recommend you join. Everybody needs to join. I wish I could gift it to the entire world. But we've got to put skin in the game. If we want to get the results of juice fasting, if we want to get the mucoid plaque out, we've got to put our own skin in the game. And that's Raw Vegan Heroes. Put your skin in the game and join and get the mucoid plaque out of your body so you can thrive as a raw vegan. The dark side of juice fasting is the best side of juice fasting because the anger, the sadness, the hopelessness, the frustration, the fear, and the hidden suppressed emotions are exactly what we need to feel to move to the next level of our own existence. This is the awakening path for humanity. This is how we uplevel our life and our own consciousness to become stewards of the earth, stewards of the living consciousness that's here on this planet in form of plants and animals. We become the masters of ourself in this domain when we detoxify our body, when we eat raw foods, and when we take exceptional leadership responsibility for our role. I love juice fasting and I support people with juice fasting every single day. It's my pleasure to share this information and talk to you. I hope it's been helpful. Sending you all so much love from over here in Austin, Texas. I hope you have a fantastic day and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Is this what you want now? Feels like you're looking for something.